torn apart. You can see it's just a mangled mess over here, and everywhere you look, there's damage. There's trees down over here. I don't know if you can tell. Let's walk over here if we can. I want to show them that trailer that the roof came completely off. This trailer over here in the distance, the roof is off. It's a mangled mess on the ground, and the woman who lives there, her and her family are inside just kind of trying to pick up whatever they can, pictures and stuff that can't be replaced before any other rain possibly damages it. But she was telling me she fell asleep, I believe, at her sister's house somewhere else. Otherwise, she would have been home at the time that this tornado came through. As you can see, the insulation exposed here, but take a look at this. This is the roof of that home. Again, just a mangled. She feels like her trailer was in the path of that tornado as it ripped the roof completely off. She was very emotional, as you can understand, as we went inside the home and talked with her. I don't know, they let us in a while ago. If we can go over there, Dacian, if you can kind of walk up to the porch and just see, they're trying to gather up what belongings they can, but the roof is completely off. This is just one of so many homes in this community that have been damaged. We talked to another man who heard it coming, and he couldn't get his dog fast enough. He went into the back part of his home. If we could walk down here, I want to show that house. He was one of the first people that we talked to out here. A tree actually fell on his home. He heard the tree uprooting, and he ran to the back bedroom, and got underneath the bed, he said, and it took cover as that tornado came through. He said he's a heart patient, and he said he just knew it was the end. Fortunately, he's thanking God, that he survived this whole thing. He said he's never been through anything like this. We're going to go to the back here just so you can see how intense this was. This whole tree uprooted. He said he heard this tree being uprooted as it fell on his home. He was in this part of the home when he heard the warning. And as you can see, that tree just fell right there. Had he been on this side of the home, I hate to think what would have happened, but he ran down that way and took cover at the other end and just was praying. He said just as fast as it happened, it was over that quickly. So you can see just how powerful this thing was. And this, just like I said, this just a couple of homes that have been touched in this community. There's damage everywhere. And again, we've been reporting, by all accounts here from the people that I've talked to, minor injuries, if you can believe that. Minor injuries. So they have a lot to be thankful for here, but just widespread damage. Matt?
All right. Thank you so much there, Lee. We do appreciate it. Boy, what a scene out there. And unfortunately, as you said, that not looking at major injuries, but certainly major damage, or at least minor injuries, I should say. So that is very, very fortunate. Trying to get some information on the neighborhood there off Johnson Road. Said it was O'Neill Place is what we're hearing. O'Neill Place off of Johnson Road that has seen the most of the damage, and that is very near Scott Dairy Loop West Road. So Johnson, Scott Dairy Loop West, that is where we have seen with that tornado that went through there. Okay, so we're getting some word from Tyler Finger and Michael Warwick. They are out there right now off of Johnson Road. Once again, that was O'Neill Place. Tyler, is that did I get that right? Okay, well, we're still trying.
Matt,
there
we just we're walking up in this area. Okay, we've been just watching up in this area, walking up right near the water tower off Johnson Road. You can see some of this damage, the extensive damage here. We were seeing it up and down another street, but this is right. You can tell the tornado came right through here with all of the damage that we're seeing here. I just spoke with Mobile Fire Rescue, one of the people here on scene. They told me that nobody is reportedly injured here, which is some very good news because of how excessive this damage is out here, and the excessiveness of the damage with debris, with roofs in some areas pulled back, the shingles taken off. But firefighters are still going through this area trying to make sure everybody is all right. A lot of people were here at the time when this tornado did come through. We spoke with several of them already, all of them saying that they are thankful to be alive. One person said he lived through Hurricanes Katrina, but he said he was scared today more than he was during that storm. So that could indicate how powerful these winds were that happened out here just about an hour or so ago. But again, good news, nobody apparently injured in this specific case off Johnson Road. There is some power outages here because some power lines have been toppled over, but again, a lot of people lucky that this wasn't much worse, because this, with the damage that we're seeing out here, it is very bad, Matt.
So much, Tyler. He's going to continue being out there monitoring that situation. We need to monitor a current situation. We do have a new tornado warning to tell you about. This one is going to be for Washington and Clark counties. So go ahead and get on there for you. So we have a new tornado warning that just popped up. I think it's going to be right for Washington and Clark. For this one here. It's north of Chatham. This is the one we've been watching, though. It's that same cell that's had a pretty significant circulation in it. Now it's going to go up towards Coffeyville. So Coffeyville is the area that we're going to be really concerned with. It's where the folks live, right there. And right through there, there's a little bit of rotation. It's not very defined, and that's good for now. We'll take less defined, but we got to watch this area because it's going to work its way. Looks up County Road 37 up towards Frankville, and then eventually up towards Coffeyville. So it's in Washington County right now. It's about to move up across the Tom-Bigby up into Clark County, up around the Coffeyville area. So if you're in these areas, hate to tell you this, but you're going to have to take shelter again. Not the first time you've done this today, most likely. You're going to have to do it again. We've seen what can happen out there today. We want to keep folks safe. And we still have an ongoing situation. So as ugly as this is, we can see more of this if we're not careful. So let's keep everybody safe. And here's Wagerville. Right there is Chatham. So there's actually two circulations here, isn't there, in Washington County, Jennifer?
That's what I'm picking up on right now, especially.
That one's stronger.
Yep, that one had a new sweep just then as well. So you can see it continuing to push more north, continuing to push at 30 miles per hour. So that's why we're still seeing these tornado warnings in place. That's also why they extended it just a little bit further. So a lot of these are going until 6:30 p.m. now. It's
like Groundhog Day with these things. Same exact spot that these were at a little bit earlier. So we're seeing another one in the same exact spot. So we got one there. You might have a rotation here as well. So look at that. One there, one there. There's Coffeyville. There's Jackson. There's Highway 69, Tom-Bigby River. Same spots seeing storms go through. A lot of woods out here, so if they can stay out over some woods, that's fine. But there's obviously people, especially along the main roads here, that live up here. So hopefully you can stay away from them and just pass by through the woods there. Once again, you can see, I know these feeds here. One Lot Road, that's the mobile home park. Johnson Road, you can see the tower, the water tower right there behind that gentleman is out off of near Scott Dairy Loop Road is in Johnson Road is out where Tyler fingered his O'Neill Place or O'Neill Court. So that's the areas I've seen damage. We have an ongoing situation where you have maybe possibly two tornadoes going on in Washington County. Once again, these are a little bit farther out in the woods, and hopefully they're not impacting homes at the moment, but it's possible they could be. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's a tornado on the ground. So what we're looking at here is a debris signature. See how it's dark purple everywhere? Then all of a sudden you got this alien-looking bright spot in the middle? That's the radar picking up saying, so it's hitting all this stuff in the dark purple, it's saying that's rain. Then it's hitting this and say, wait a minute, that's not rain. It's shaped differently, it's different size, that's debris. North of Hawthorne Road, there's community of Rutan, and it's moving its way to the north. So definite tornado on the ground here in central Washington County. That's a debris ball. That's what we call that, debris ball. Highway 56 is right here. Chatham's right here. We had one that might have gone over 56 right over here just about 15 minutes ago maybe. Now this one's going to go about the midpoint there of Highway 56. I know we had one go over there earlier, just about where that little point is on the road. So I've had to say Highway 56 a whole bunch of times here today. These storms are going over the same spots again and again and again. That's a debris ball for sure. So that is debris getting lofted up into the air. Tornadoes do that. So we're looking at, limbs and hopefully just limbs and trees. The main road 17 and 56 a good bit away, so hopefully not any homes right there. But obviously once this gets close to the main highway there are people that live along 56 or people that live along Hawthorne there. So it's still a very dangerous situation. So We have current situation going on. That's a debris ball, what you're seeing on your screen. That's debris being lofted up into the atmosphere. Let's see, new scan. All right, new scan still shows debris. Same spot. You can see how it travels along. That is debris being lofted into the air. Not quite as much, but it ain't going to make anybody sleep any better. It's still a tornado on the ground there. Highway 56 right through there. And some of the earlier videos being shown here on the other side of your screen. Looks like that's going to be off Johnson Road video. Once again, we are dealing with a tornado on the ground here south of Highway 56. Right there, that debris matching up with that velocity there, that what we call the couplet, where the winds are going like this in the atmosphere. So the amazing thing about what the Doppler radars can do here in 2019 is how they can see multiple different things going on in the atmosphere. What a radar does is shoot out microwaves, and those microwaves bounce off the raindrops. And that's used to be all they do. They just tell you there's a raindrop there. But now, a few years ago, we got what's called dual pole. And that dual pole, what it can do is it can not only bounce off that, it can tell how fast that raindrop is moving. It can tell if it's moving this way or that way. So it can tell if it's spinning. It can also, with that debris, it can tell, hey, that's not a raindrop. That's something shaped differently. I'm hitting something else. So it can tell us multiple things. And with that debris, that really tells us, hey, that's one way, especially with something that's out there in the woods, that's actually a tornado on the ground. Somebody's not actually able to see it. We can tell it is on the radar. That's a tornado on the ground right there south of Highway 56. Also, another tornado up here, just about to cross the Tom Bigby up towards Coffeyville, up towards Highway 69 in Clark County. So you don't see any debris on that one. You see debris on this one. So this one likely not on the ground. This one is. That's a tornado on the ground. Once again, just off to the east of Chatham. So we've got ongoing situation. We've got earlier situation on the screen there with live shots. Let's get the radar up with the rain so we can actually show folks what's going on with the rain. And we can see there's still some heavy rain falling mainly across Washington County, down to Mobile County. Let's give everybody a little bit of a radar. There's still a tornado warning here. We haven't looked at this one in a while because it didn't seem to have much circulation with it. But it might have one right there along Georgetown Lot Road. There is a little notch there. Yeah, maybe. It's sort of not as right through here. There might be a little notch right there. Kind of hard to tell. So we're still seeing an ongoing situation. We still have some rain around, still dealing with heavy rain. And we may see a few more of these spin up. We're going to have to watch. They don't look very big, but these still have the capability of spinning because of the way the atmosphere is set up right now. So, and you can see both of our reporters out there off Lot Road, off of Johnson Road, interviewing folks that experienced this really nasty weather day. Think about this. This could have been you. Nobody can, you just don't know with these things exactly where they're going to impact. And it can happen like that. Day can be completely turned upside down. That's why we spend so much time on air warning you about these things, and then when they actually happen, stay on air with you, letting you know exactly what's happening. So this is why we do it, guys, to try to protect folks. And so far, we haven't heard of any major injuries, so fingers crossed that stays the case here for us as we head into the evening hours. We still are going to have more storms. Right now, almost certainly have a tornado on the ground just off to the east of Chatham. We have more storms bubbling up that could eventually start spinning too, so we have to watch out for that. Let's go back up here to the one in Chatham. This is the one I'm concerned with. Thankfully, it's not a very, it's not like off Johnson Road. It's just not out in a very populated area. But folks do here live along 56, so we want them to know that they most likely have a tornado going on by. I mean, that's a tornado, that's a debris ball, that's a tornado signature for sure. So that's what we're looking at right there. It's debris getting lofted up into the air. And so right there, there's a circulation happening right along Highway 56, going up through the middle of, once again, the same areas of Washington County. So hopefully you're in shelter already, but if you're not, if you're anywhere along Highway 56 or north of Highway 56, you need to be in shelter again. Not likely your first time you've done that today. So they're going over the same spots. All right, so that's what we're dealing with right there. Once again, we have Lott Road, Johnson Road. Haven't checked in with Jennifer in a while. Jennifer Lambert's the newest member of our Storm Tracker team. Has been in here helping out this afternoon. She's also been keeping an eye on the social media side of things and keeping an eye on, well, the damage reports. Jennifer, what else are you hearing out there?
So right now, not seeing much on social media in terms of those tornado warnings, seeing a lot of those get extended until 6:45. That's because these tornadoes are still on the ground, they're still moving north, and they're still keeping that speed with them as well. So they're fast moving, they're moving north at 35 miles per hour, staying in effect until 6:45 p.m. So that's still that one that's southeast of Chatham. That one's continuing to move more north. That's the one that I'm monitoring right here on this velocity screen right now. So I'm going to go ahead and move that just a little bit because there's two areas of rotation that I want to point out. So we have this one near Waggerville, and also we have this brighter one just pushing up a little bit north up there. So that's two areas of rotation. So we're keeping an eye on, and then also I'm going to go back to that debris signature as well. Still seeing that one just near that Highway 56. So if I zoom in closer to Chatham, so we saw that velocity that was just a little bit further out, but this is what's getting kicked up from that. So this is that debris signature that we're also keeping an eye on just below Highway 56. Saw that velocity signature over there. So this is what's being picked up by that velocity signature as well. So I'm going to zoom out just a little bit more just to get a general idea of what all we're seeing right now. So we got a lot of tornado warnings going on because we got a lot of storms out there. So we got going on, seeing a lot of that precipitation still further out west as well. So near Hattiesburg, seeing that line of storms still really strong out there. But if I take off this radar as well, we can see all of those tornado warnings that we have as well. So again, these are tornado warnings. So this is keeping an eye on that rotation. So that's north of Wilmer, near Mount Vernon, and also near Chatham, Jackson, and Coffeyville. Also seeing that one that was near Wilmer, that one just expired. So that one's not tornado warning anymore, just some severe storms out there. So now we just have about 3 different tornado warnings going on. So near Coffeyville, Chatham, just west of Jackson, and then that one near Mount Vernon in between Tinsau and north of Stockton. So that, again, that one that was near Wilmer just expired, so no more rotation is picking up near there. Just monitoring those severe thunderstorms with that. Also getting some aerial flood advisories. So those aerial flood advisories, that's near Choctaw, that's near Clark, and that's also near Washington, Alabama. Those are in effect until 9 p.m. So seeing lots of flooded roadways, still seeing that ponding water, because with these tornadoes, we're also seeing a lot of heavy downpours elsewhere as well. So I can go ahead and check out that radar, because we can see that not everywhere is seeing these tornado warnings. A lot of areas are still seeing some heavy thunderstorms as well. So near Bayman Net, also just northeast of Loxley, Mount Vernon, Stockton, still seeing heavy rain along 45 and also on 98 near Wilmer. So still seeing lots of heavy rainfall, especially with Citronelle, and pushing more north towards Chatham. They're seeing a lot of lightning up there as well. So rain all around, especially when we zoom out further. You can see that line of storms blocking it right now, but if I step back, we're still seeing that line of storms further out west as well. So near Slidell, it's going to continue pushing more north and northeast with that movement. Monitoring some of the more of these storms that are just picking up off the Gulf. That's where we're seeing a lot of this moisture coming from, is off the Gulf, just kind of forming up there and pushing more north. So I'm going to zoom into these tornado warned areas again. Going to go ahead and check out the velocity. This is how we see that rotation that we're keeping an eye on. So still seeing some just east of Chatham, especially if I get that debris signature up as well. That'll help see what we're seeing. So you can see that debris ball signature did move as well. The debris ball is moving over Highway 56. So it's continuing to move with that rotation. So both continuing to push more north, staying in the same areas that we've already been seeing a lot of these storms for today. We've been on live on-air coverage since about noon time today. Matt came rushing in once he saw that those tornadoes were starting to punker up here as well. Also during this time, we've seen that we've had Tropical Storm Olga form as well. So it's been a lot of activity going on today. Still monitoring that, and I do see that we have another update coming out here soon for that tropical weather outlook for Tropical Storm Olga and what can come from that, as Tropical Storm Olga will form with that cold front that we have pushing through tomorrow. So I'm not sure if Matt has anything else to add to this discussion. I'll check in on what we got going on Indomit's chat as well.
All right, thank you so much, Jennifer. Yeah, we are definitely going to have to keep an eye on Olga, but essentially Olga is just getting absorbed into this frontal system that we are experiencing right now. So they named it, but it's not going to make any real difference to us what they called it. It's moisture being pumped into the system that is bringing us these storms. There's still a debris ball there. It's just north of Highway 56. So we've had a tornado on the ground here in Washington County. Pretty likely that we did, and probably still do. The other areas, Lott Road, Johnson Road, that you're seeing on the side of your screen, are areas that have seen significant damage this afternoon from the tornadoes that have passed through there. This was the same tornado that passed through. Don't know if it was on the ground the whole time. Lott Road and Johnson Road are a good number of miles apart there in Mobile County, but it's possible. It may have lifted up for a little while, then dropped back down. It's from the same cell, and you can see they're still out there at Lott Road with the first responders. Here we are. This is the one that's likely got a tornado with it here north of Highway 56. Same areas that's seen multiple issues out there this afternoon. They're continuing to do that. There's Tombigbee River. It's going to pass over that, and there's another circulation north of there that's about in Coffeyville. So I know I hate to tell you this again if you're in Coffeyville, but you're going to have to get in shelter again for this one. And then if you poke your head out for a few minutes, then you have to get right back in shelter because we're going to have another one coming in right behind that within a few minutes. So a rough night, a rough late afternoon, rough evening here for us across the Gulf Coast. Looks like we got a new warning bubbling in right through there. This is the one that was warned earlier. They dropped the warning. Now it looks like they're adding another one back in. Looks like right on the back side of this, there might be a little notch here near Citronelle along Beverly Jeffries Highway. Is that right through there? It doesn't look like much, but we're gonna have to keep an eye on it because it may spin back up. But it's right through here. I think that's Beverly Jeffries Highway. Call it.
That update kind of got it a little bit more.
Yeah. So there we are. Yeah, it is Beverly Jeffries Highway right there. In the very northern part of Mobile County. It's going to pass across the county line here before too long and be once again in Washington County. So guys, you're not done. I hate to do this to Washington County, but you're going to continue to see these things spin through here this evening. They continue to come in one after the other. And now this one is on Beverly Jeffries Highway, possible tornado here. This one's going to track to the north as well, likely at around, 30 or 35 miles an hour, Jennifer?
Yeah, that one is also moving very fast at 30 miles per hour, moving north.
Yeah, so basically the same as all the rest of them are doing here today and continuing to do that. Once again, that is northern Mobile County along Beverly Jeffries Highway, just off to the west of Citronelle with a brand new tornado warning, but it's sort of continued from one that we had earlier. So not brand new in the sense that this storm has had tornado warnings with it before. It looked like it weakened, and now looks like it's fired itself back up once again. It's Beverly Jeffries Highway, just off to the west of Citronelle and west of Citronelle proper there. So it's going to be making its way north from there up towards the county line and up towards Highway. Likely it's going to be just off to the west of Highway 45 as it goes into Washington County. So this one may be a little different in the sense that so far most of them have been off to the east of Highway 45. Looks like this one will be more to the west of Highway 45. So Vinegar Bend, those areas, watch out. This one's coming your way. So we've been continuing to watch these spins out there this afternoon. Continue to watch the situation from Lott Road. It's a mobile home park that saw significant damage and some minor injuries. And then we got Johnson Road, which was, a neighborhood there off Johnson Road. Johnson Road has a lot of neighborhoods off it there near Dawes. And they saw significant damage there, multiple issues. But the good news is we haven't heard of any injuries there off of Johnson Road. So we're continuing to monitor that as well. Obviously, got a lot of action still here on the radar. We got at least almost certainly a tornado that's been on the ground or maybe still on the ground up around Chatham. We got another one near Citronelle that might be on the ground. And then we got a whole bunch of areas that are just experiencing rain. A couple of housekeeping notes here. The Greater Gulf State Fair Mobile, not happening tonight, as you would expect. We know we've had a number of football games that got moved from Friday night to Thursday night. We need to find out for you if we're seeing any of those canceled, delayed, or anything like that. So we're working on that as well, because I know Murphy's supposed to play it here coming up at LAD before too long. So hopefully we'll get some more information on all that for you, letting you know what's happening with the high school games that are supposed to be played.